Student learning outcomes. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to write an equation of a line given its slope and a point on the line. In this example, we're asked to write an equation of the line in standard form with the given slope that contains the given point. We are given a slope of -6 and an ordered pair of -2, -4. Now keep in mind we were asked to write our final answer in standard form, so we will have to do some converting there toward the end. So whether you're using the slope-intercept or the point form, let's go ahead and begin. If you're using the slope-intercept form, we're going to remove y and replace it with what? Yes, you should know this by now. Your y value of the ordered pair you were given is -4. So we're going to remove y and replace it with -4. We're going to remove m and replace it with what? Yes, we were given -6 for m, so we're going to remove m and replace with -6. We're going to remove x and replace it with what? Yes, the ordered pair we were given here for the x value is a -2, so we're going to remove x and replace it with -2. Now remember, when you're using the slope-intercept form, you don't know what b is, that is what you're going to be solving for. So let's go ahead and plug in our values. When we do so, it's going to look like so. All we need to do at this point here on the right side, multiply -6 times -2, and remember a negative and a negative will give you a positive, so that's +12. One last step to getting b all by itself. What do we have to do? Yes, if you said to subtract 12, then that's correct. So once we subtract 12 from each side, b will then equal -16. Now let's put our line together in y equals mx plus b form. So y equals, m we were told is -6. So -6, always put an x behind your slope. So -6x. We just found out that b is -16. So putting it all together, my line is y equals -6x minus 16. Now, how about the point slope form? For those of you who prefer that method, recall that you're never going to plug into the x and y by itself. Make sure you plug your given ordered pair into the sub 1 points. So we're going to remove y sub 1 and replace it with what? Yes, -4. Remove x sub 1 and replace it with what? Yes, -2. Remove m and replace it with what? Yes, -6. So when we do so, it's going to look like so. Remember, double negatives become positives. -4, but with a negative in front of it, becomes +4. -2, but with a negative in front of it, becomes +2. We're going to go ahead and do the distributive property on the right side. -6 times x is -6x. -6 times +2 is -12. One last step to getting y all by itself. What do we need to do? That's correct. Subtract 4 from each side. And y equals -6x minus 16, the same answer we got using the slope-intercept form. So one last thing we need to do, we want to make sure that our answer is in standard form. Recall, standard form is where x is first, then y, and then the number by itself. So let's move to another page here, and then we're going to rewrite this equation from slope-intercept form to standard form. Now to do that, it is simply just one step, because recall, standard form is where x is first, then y, and the number by itself is on the right side. All we need to do is move -6x from the right side over to the left side. And to do that, we have to do the opposite. So the opposite of negative 6x is plus 6x. So when we add 6x to each side, we have our equation in standard form, which is 6x plus y equals negative 16. And this is the correct standard form of an equation, because notice that the coefficient of x is not a negative and it's not a fraction, so we are good. That is your equation of line.